Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. We are live with the one and only Mr. Danny Walker. Hey, Danny.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm good. It'll take, I think we're 30 seconds or so ahead, so they'll catch up to us. What I was going to say is you go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know a little bit about you, and then we will chat. I'm going to share.
Yeah. So I'm Danny Walker. I'm a master installer in spray foam industry for foam walls, spray insulation, and concrete lifting in Marine City, Michigan. 2 years in the industry, 2.5 years, coming up on 3 in August, and I'm just a new guy, and I have a strong social media presence. And,
yes, he does.
I'm here to help people and just share my experience in my growth with everyone, and hopefully, inspire others to do the same. That's kind of, I feel, my calling in life is just to help share my story and lead people through my experiences. So that's kind of
yeah. And you know what? Are you serious? You're only 2 years in?
Yeah. Before August 2011, the only spray foam that I knew about was Great Stuff, and I've never even seen it before then. Never seen it.
Man, I was thinking you were around longer. I guess because worldwide, it seems like everybody's been in there forever. So I feel like you've been there for 4 years, but I guess not. Wow.
Yeah. Well, definitely not 40 years. I'm turning 32.
No, four, not 40.
Hey, can I share that too? I didn't see it go live yet.
Yeah, you go ahead. We're just going to share, and then we'll get on the conversation. I'll get on the comments here. We are live with Danny Walker. I hope everybody out there is doing good, and we're going to chat and bring some light into everybody's day today. So that's what we're going to do, Danny and I. So let me just get in there so I can read the comments, because you won't be able to see the comments unless you're on your phone too. So Ben, how are you this morning? Eric, I can't see Dave. Oh, Dave Thacker, you're on here. I see you. We've got a few awesome people on, so hello everybody. I'll stare at the camera rather than my laptop. That would be probably a good plan, right? So 2 years only. What was the thing that sparked your interest in getting into the industry?
I didn't know that I wanted to be in the industry. I just knew that I wanted a job.
Got it.
It's kind of an interesting story. So I would say 2016 I got in some legal trouble.
Yep.
Where I went to court and they said, hey, we want you to do community service 15 days. And so there was a festival coming up in Marine City called Maritime Days. So I went and did I did my time there because they credited you for double time because of the festival and you were working extra hours. So my 15 days, I got done in 4 days, and I had an outstanding review.
Awesome.
And I just had such an amazing time with those people that even after my community hours were served, I stayed extra hours. And so from before it started until after it closed down, I was there picking up garbage, throwing it away, just meeting people, just, I felt like I had purpose for once, where before it was just, I wasn't living the best lifestyle.
Right.
And so these people they were super welcoming and super nice to me, and they gave me a chance. It was my time to shine.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then the next year when Maritime Days came about again, they called me and said, hey, we were wondering, because you were such a shining example of someone turning their life around, would you lead that program this year? And I was like, what? Heck yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm there, I had 2 guys come in, and they ended up just leaving on the first day. So the whole rest of the weekend. It was just me again, and I busted my ass, and I had a great time, and it led to a referral to football. So I called Gary, who was the owner at the time, and told him, hey, I have this terrible past that's not me anymore, so if you did a background check, this is what you'll find, and I just want you to know before taking me on that I don't have a license and that I have substance abuse history and all this other stuff. I have court coming up and all this, all this stuff. So before you take me, know this. And he was like, I don't care. I just need somebody to scrape some studs. So I'm like, all right, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So I just showed up and I learned what spray foam was. And in 2 months, I was spraying full time. The sprayer that I was under had left the company, and Gary was going to sell the company. That's when Doug, my current boss, came into the picture, and he's now buying it out. And since then, we've kind of grown Foamall together to what it is today. And we're actually bringing on a new rig and hopefully some new recruits to the Foamall team.
Sweet. And, I don't know that I didn't have a conversation with Doug, but like you can tell he is such a good example and leader of a company. He really, you can just tell by his presence. Like when we were at SPFA, you did that like group live that, we had those few people there, and he's just, you can tell by his presence he would be an awesome person to have as a mentor and as a boss. I don't like to even say the word boss, but like as a boss for sure.
No, I definitely look to Doug as more of a friend and personal coach rather than a boss.
Right.
Because he's just touched my life in a different way than he's not just a boss. We talk about personal things. We talk, he guides me. And like a little background of Doug is he used to work for the juvenile center, so he has,
that experience.
Right.
Yeah.
To take on that like me, and it's just funny. Foamall, it's almost like Project Foamall. We kind of joke about it because everyone that we've taken on so far, and people that have stuck with the company, we all have similar past and similar baggage, and we all have a story of perseverance and overcoming, and it's a great thing. And learning to work through that and manage a business is a hard thing to do, but now that we're doing it in Foamall's infancy, it's I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you guys are, that's cool actually, because what you're doing as an outsider looking in on that is you guys are showing, and you are a testament that you can overcome and you can succeed regardless of what's happened in your life. Everybody's got stuff. My post, like everybody's got junk, everybody's got that stuff. Some could be worse than others, but like you guys are coming together and you're using, I don't want to say you're using that to grow better, but it does strengthen you guys because you understand what it's like to be on the other side of success, not on the good side of it. And you guys are growing that together.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that people just need a chance, and you need to invest in people who need a leg up, and that's how you weed out who's going to be strong and who's going to be weak.
Right. How many are you guys at Foamall? How many are on your crew?
I have 3 helpers.
Yeah.
2 of them have been out doing the cellulose rig lately. Christy, in fact, is about to go down to Kansas to ECP to learn concrete lifting.
Oh, nice.
Doug and Gary went down there last summer, and a gentleman named Aaron, I think the last name Graham, Aaron Graham, who's our ECP rep, and he's just like the guru of concrete lifting, and really got the ball rolling for Foamall.
Right.
So that concrete lifting rig, we're doing uh, erosion prevention. We're right on the St. Clair River, Canada, USA border.
Right.
So there's a lot of erosion, so we're doing seawall caps and, doing hydrophobic pour foam between the seawall and the earth to prevent more erosion, and we've had such a high water table. Those sales are booming. This is like a totally different area of foam that other guys don't have an opportunity to do because they're not on the water, and it's really cool that FOMA gets to kind of be the pioneers in that.
Yeah. Man, that's exciting for sure. So you guys do spray foam, you're going to be doing that, and do you do any other kind of insulation? Or just spray foam?
Primarily, I'm a closed cell wall foam, and that's my thing.
Yeah.
It's like everyday crawl spaces and exterior walls of new construction or remodels.
Right. Now I know I was lucky enough, fortunate enough. I don't like using the word lucky, but I got to chat with you down at SPFA, which was awesome, and it was funny because Rex said to me he saw you like running around and doing what you just talked about at that other festival. You were like kind of cleaning up and moving tables, and he's like, is he part of like Spray Foam Worldwide? I'm like, that's Danny Walker. Like, what do you mean? Of course he is. And he's like, well, I've heard his name. I don't know who he is. He's like, I wasn't sure if he was working for like the people that put it on. I said, no, he does that because it's a networking opportunity. Like you really are a unicorn in this industry, and that's why I always say, if people don't see the value in you, they're crazy, because you bring so much awesome to the table, like your marketing, your networking, like just how you are as a presence. Like it's all good, and it's what the industry needs is more of that.
So the reason that I even do any of that is because I've taken so much from life, living my old lifestyle. I've done so much hurt to other people that I feel like it's my duty, my responsibility, it's my calling to reverse that and give back as much as possible. And I love the attention. I do. I can't help it. I love the attention, and it's I'm not afraid to be the guy who falls on his face so other people can learn. I'm fine with being that guy.
Right. You have also a background in the network marketing industry, like that kind of in that, I guess, that industry as well. So I know you mentioned to me when we talked, like you had done some, like you led groups, and I've forgotten what those groups were. But they were like mindset and stuff, right?
Yeah. So anybody I think who has been involved in an MLM has experienced the leaders of that community. One of the main things that they push is personal development and growth. So that's kind of how that came to be for me. My brother started with a thing called the Global Affiliate Zone, which they were partnered with Enagic, which is an ionized alkaline water machine. Basically, it turns water into ionized alkaline water. So that had MLM pay structure, and so he recruited my dad, who didn't do anything with it, but I saw opportunity to take his account and build it up so that I can benefit on his behalf. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just looking for a window of opportunity, and because I had nothing at the time, and I'm living at home with mom and dad, and coming from a mindset of being a complete loser to trying to find a foot up in the world, and my brother finally forgave me for some things and started a relationship again with me. And then that kind of springboarded me into giving myself a chance again. So I obsessed over it, and one of the books, Rhonda Byrne, Magic, she has that series called The Secret, which is all about the law of attraction.
Right.
And it became such a powerful thing in my life. This is before I found a relationship with God, my relationship with the universe, and making vision boards and just projecting my desires into the universe, and then watching them come back to me in small increments. The more that I believed in myself, the more that I poured value into other people and into other areas of life, the more came back to me. And so it's just kind of, I feel like I'm getting off topic here. Anyway,
you're good.
With mindset training that I'm doing for myself, because I started getting outside of my comfort zone. The leaders of this MLM are telling me, start making videos, make videos, pour content, make content. Just all you got to do, just content. So that's what I did. And I didn't care that I was being annoying. I did everything that they told me to do.
Yeah.
What I wanted. So how do I get what I want? I do what the guy who has what I want, I do what they do. And so, they were making 6 figures a month, and that seemed like an impossible thing. Not saying that I know that to be true now, but the whole idea and that mindset, the way that they, made me believe in myself, that itself was worth 6 figures.
Yeah. That is the challenge with a lot of people, is overcoming that mindset of going from thinking you have zero value to knowing and understanding the value you do have and how great that value is. And that isn't an easy thing, especially if you've been through hard stuff and you've believed that, you can't do it. And it's hard to get to that place, but it is possible, and everybody can do it. And I think that my way of helping people understand that is sharing these kind of conversations, that you guys come on and talk about those experiences. That is going to help somebody out there that's watching, that's never said a word. And that's why I appreciate those posts that, anybody does, and these conversations, because you guys are the ones you guys are that hand that's going to help them up. Virtually. It's so key.
My greatest advice to anybody who's struggling with anything is figure out that thing that's bothering you the most, that you want to do the most but you think you can't do, and just start doing it. Like, my thing was public speaking. People think that I'm such a great public speaker. I am so critical on myself. I feel like I'm moving my mouth all the time. I feel like I can't look in the face. I feel like, I'm getting foam in the corners of my mouth. Got to do this all the time. I'm doing something with my hands, or I'm saying or all these weird things, or my voice is shaking, and all this other stuff. And if you go to my personal profile and look up, in my Danny Walker search bar, if you didn't know you could do that, you go to somebody's profile and you can search through their profile for keywords. If you look, get outside your comfort zone, or this is what it looks like getting outside your comfort zone, that is my first live video that I ever made.
Oh.
And it's like maybe 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it's just about, here I am. I'm trying to make a video. It's the first time. This is the start of it was maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago. And I don't think that it's that far off from where I am today in terms of delivery. Like, you can't tell that was my first video.
Right.
People are so scared.
That's just it. They're so scared.
And it's just nobody cares. Really, nobody cares.
Yep.
You're going to make a video, and somebody's going to watch it, and they're going to be like, that guy can make a video, I can make one, because
yes,
it wasn't that great. But I mean, I don't know if that is the right thing to say. It's an inspiring thing, because if you see somebody else getting outside your comfort zone, you feel inspired that you can do it too.
Yeah. I mean, we had, how many people were there at SPFA when we did that live? And there was a number of those guys. One in particular, his name was Aaron. He is a very quiet, like, not a chatterbox even close. He talked a lot and gave lots of value in that conversation. And it was awesome to see that group who you don't see in front of the camera sharing
Right.
and talking, because everybody, you guys were all talking about obviously spray foam, and it's that passion that grows and it gets people excited, and you're talking about it in positive ways, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's the most powerful thing I think of masterminding like that is when you get into that group setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so say you're in a Facebook group and you're trying to have a mastermind on a forum or on a post or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people might not interact with that post because they're afraid they're going to spell something wrong, or they don't want to be bothered with typing it up. You know, maybe they just look at it and we're like, oh, I have something to say, I'll get back to it later, and then we forget. Or
Yeah.
you know, their phone's going to die, so they don't want to hurry up and type it up. They have value and something to add to that post, but when you meet up in a group setting, you know, you can't help but to let that passion fuel you to say something
Mm-hmm.
in person, and everyone has that opportunity to do it in person.
Yes. You also, like, you were talking about your social media presence, and you do have a very big presence on social media. And so did that come with your, obviously the MLM stuff, or did you just like decide, was that kind of your own thing that you wanted to do, or was it a combination of both? How did you get that started?
Well, that kind of goes back until my teens, where it was just a popularity contest on MySpace. And,
Right.
you know, I was a very trendy kid in the scene, and you know, the internet was becoming a thing. Kids were getting cell phones for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're getting camera phones, and you know, we still had digital cameras.
Right. Yeah.
I remember making videos in this little box that I made out of duct tape, put on my chest before GoPros were made, riding my bike around town, making bike riding videos, and just
funny.
goofy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just I just always loved the attention,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, there was a period where I stopped. You know, I got out of that limelight because I went to a darker side of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really want anybody talking to me or knowing what I did. I avoided family.
Yeah.
I was just a miserable person, and all I cared about was, you know, having a good time with friends, party, whatever that meant.
Yeah.
And now, I guess I was just, you know, kind of desperately seeking attention. Afterwards, you know, I just, I still like attention, but I'm trying to do it in a different light.
Right. I remember the video you did with the different kinds of foam. You guys sprayed the different kinds of foam, and you did review on each one. I still think that video is so awesome because it was not a biased thing. It was just, here's what we did, and you gave the pros and cons, and I think that was awesome. And I mean, maybe that's not the right thing for me to say, but I don't care, because people remember who you are, and it's what I say all the time to anybody that I work with. You guys have got to get me video, get me pictures. It's that same conversation, and when they see you or anybody else doing that, it's awesome. Like it starts that ball rolling. I've got one guy that he did a video not very long ago, and he added captions to it, and it was great. You know, like, he didn't need to be in front of the camera, but he got the content he needed. And content is king. We all know.
You got to put out content constantly if you want. I feel like that's why people think I know so much more than I really do. Like you thought, I've been in the industry for so much longer. Mm-hmm. It's just because I'm putting out so much content all the time, And the more that you do it, the more comfortable you feel, the more you look for different ways to talk to people and reach different audiences. Um, One of the things I think a lot of guys who have been in the industry a while struggle with is getting a way to speak to the customer, speaking the customer's language, where I don't know so much terminology that other guys would, that I can just say, it's this thing over here. I don't know what it's called, but this is what you got to do to it, and make it make sense to the customer, and I can kind of dumb it down because they don't know that terminology and they really don't care.
That is very true. Very true.
Right. The more that you talk to customers, and the more that that was another thing. I love the fact that I work for a small company, because it's given me opportunity that guys in big companies will probably never have a chance to do in their first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I heard guys have to, they need to be a helper mandatory for a year before they're ever allowed to touch a gun. I think that's crazy. Or like, they can't put the gun on the hook. I don't know. They can't do rig maintenance as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, this is what some other guys have told me, and I try to duplicate myself right off rip.
Yeah.
It's just all about duplication, and that's how you run efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think too, you have to, at a certain point, you have to allow the person you're training to actually be hands-on, and the only way you can do that is to let them do it. And it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to be any of those things, but everybody started from somewhere. And I think sometimes when people, and it doesn't matter what industry this is in, it's in every industry, when people are in it for a long time, they sometimes forget where they started. It's the same as people who have kids. Some parents forget that they were kids and they screwed up too. And so they hold their kids or their employees to a different level, and it's like you have to allow them the space to screw up and to learn. And yes, I get it, it can be costly and all those things, but at some point you got to give up that control, and you got to be hands-on with them and allow that to happen, or they're not going to learn.
Yeah, I struggle with that now, big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I let my helper almost spray an entire house, and it was like, bless the guy, man, but it was like pulling teeth, trying to be like, you're low here, come back to this room and do this spot, and over here, and you're being too heavy. I was being super critical on him, where I don't think that was the case for my situation. I don't know. I feel like I have a different story with my company, because originally, I don't think FOMO initially had the intention to become what it is now. It was just a guy's hobby, because he wanted to do his house cheaper.
Right.
So he spray foam rig, and it just became this side business with another kid that he worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And that went sour, and I was left as a new helper, and the guy didn't know what to do. He was going to sell that company. Doug came in, and me and him just saw the opportunity that this industry had, because they, even though it wasn't supposed to be as big as it was, they had strongly marketed themselves in our area to where, the branding,
Mm-hmm.
it was strong. Their branding was super strong, and they were so networked in the community that to just keep the business going and growing it was an easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug, more of his background, he comes from Primerica too, and he was really good in Primerica. He also has a banking background. I think he was a loan officer at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, he's super well-rounded, and I'm lucky to have him in my life.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm lucky he gives me opportunity that, I think it's because of his time in the juvenile center that he can see a diamond in the rough and
Right.
lets me have that opportunity. Like
Yeah.
when I came to FOMO, I told you I didn't have a license.
Yep.
My mom is driving me to work every day.
Right. Yeah.
28 years old, and or 29 or wherever it was, and so my mom was driving me to work, and now they give me the company truck, not totally on their will because I have to have a vehicle that has a breathalyzer in it.
Right.
So in order to pull the rig, I have to have a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And so they let me use the company truck, and I have my breathalyzer in there, and I'm supposed to get it out next month.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Congratulations.
That's like the final piece of the puzzle. They dealt with me on probation. I got off probation 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I had 5 years of probation, and I got off of that finally. And this whole time, just super lucky. But it's not, them just dealing with me because they have to. They've helped me out, and I have in turn worked my ass off to pay off that debt.
Right.
And I think that debt's met, and now I think we're all just like a foamy family.
Right.
And more,
Yeah.
I think FOMO looks at their employees more business partners than employees at this point, because
Right.
it's crazy. I've never seen customer service the way that we do it. And just the people that we take on, we have that background, that bad background, but now we've all changed our lives, and our customers love us. They just love having us. Other installation companies in our area subcontract us because our phone work is better than their work, and so they give us jobs, and their customers have fantastic experience with us, and it's just all good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a mutual investment, really. Like they're investing in you guys, and you're investing back in them, and you guys are geared towards success, and that's what you want to do. And I think when people start seeing the potential in others in that way, nothing but good can come out of it, really, because again, Doug has got that experience in the juvenile system, so he's got a bit of a different perspective than most, I would say, because you can see the success stories that come out of that stuff. And that's where you guys are changing that conversation too, and that's an awesome thing, because somebody out there could see this and they think they can't do it. They can't, but they can. And every single person who's come on this live and talked about whatever it is they've gone through, whether it's been jail or probation or all of that, every single one of them had somebody that took a chance on them, and they're succeeding. And that's all it takes. It's that one person to believe in you and say, you know what, yeah, you've got something, and you're going to be better than that.
Yeah. I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
Super grateful.
Yeah. You are also good at, I appreciate your self-branding, because when I met you, the first thing you did to me was you handed me your stickers. And I was like, yes, I love seeing that so much. I guess that's the thing that I think a lot of people miss, is every single day people say, I don't like sales. I'm not good at sales. Every single day we're selling ourselves. It's a sale every day.
I do that, not to take away from FOMO at all. I do it to do my own lead generation, really, where, as I grow in the company, I want to be able to track my leads and to track, jobs that get sold from my efforts, so that if offered profit sharing, we can know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just so people know, they have basically a gallery. I have a portfolio online for others to look
Mm-hmm.
at and see that my face is on there and Danny Walker did this job.
Yep.
Um, Aside from FOMO, I I don't know.
It's a virtual resume, is what I
Yeah,
call it. It's really your virtual resume. And it doesn't matter where you work or who you work for, every single person should have it because that is your work. That's what you do. And it's beneficial for the company, obviously, that you work for. But it's also beneficial for your customers. And you can take that to a customer and say, here's the work I specifically have done. This is what I can do. And it is your bragging rights, and you should, because that is absolutely how you do lead generation.
yeah, yeah. Um, I I walk a thin line with that page
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't be able to do any of this had it not be because of FOMO.
Right.
Um, so it's just I have to make sure that I'm not taking away from that business
Right.
when I do it. I'm trying to respect what's been given to me uh,
Yeah.
on that page.
And I think you guys also, this is the other thing I like to try to tell people when they talk about their marketing and what they need to do for their business. You guys do a good job of showing the balance of work, hard work, but you also throw in some fun into it. Like you guys are, you do videos where you guys are like laughing and just being, just being stupid or whatever. And it shows that it brings in that humanity back into, it's not just all like hard work and it's, this, you got to have some fun in there too. And that you do a good mix of that.
It is hard work, and if you can't have fun at it, then you're not going to want to show up the next day.
Right.
My helpers, I have to make sure that they want to come back too because I don't want to do the job by myself.
Right.
It's We're a growing company,
Mm-hmm.
and I just need to create that atmosphere, and I'm blessed that Doug allows me to do that. Um,
Yeah.
I work really hard and I work really fast. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty efficient, so we don't have. Um, I think I complete jobs a lot faster than other guys. I'm not trying to be conceited or sound
No.
arrogant or whatever. I know that I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I take a lot of pride in that. So the little bit of downtime that I have left over, I make sure my guys have fun.
Yeah. And that's key, like exactly what you said. You need them to come back. They need to come back. And why would, it's never made sense to me when people are all just like just like slave drivers, I guess is the only term I can use. And it's like they don't get why people don't want to do that all the time. Like you have to have some downtime. There has to be some fun mixed in there because otherwise nobody's going to want to come back. Nobody.
Right? I know when in the beginning when I wasn't you know efficient and we kept running into problems because I wasn't adequately trained. Everything I feel like at this point, I'm totally self-sufficient. I don't call a tech for anything. I can troubleshoot any problem on that rig always. Like I cannot remember the last time that I called for help.
Right.
It, um, it's it's come to the point where when the other guys are they call me before they call a rep. I
Right.
I feel so blessed that people look to me like that.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
so new to the industry is I just when I put my mind to something, it's just I obsess over it, and this industry has um, given me life, really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is my passion foam. And Elizabeth here, she jokes with me that spray foam is your passion. Spray foam is your passion, and I say no, it's not. No, it's, and I'm probably just teasing, but my passion really is being the best me that I can be all the time in whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, so it just lately it's been foam because that's consumed my life.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was just looking at a comment here, and it was Kim Riley, and she said, I remember the first time you liked my videos. I felt so honored and blessed that you recognized it, especially my signature ones. And she also said she likes your dancing videos.
man, so when she puts out videos, she's one of the few that I see all the time. I love seeing her videos and that signing. I want her to start doing that too because of her, but I don't want to steal what other people are doing, you know? That's her thing, and I think that's super cool. It reminds me of times where customers have asked me to spray in a Bible into, you know, or a horseshoe over their doorways. Has anybody ever? I thought that was super cool.
Spray foam a horseshoe over their doorway?
Yeah, apparently it's a old wives' tale or urban legend of luck that.
Oh.
I don't remember if it's facing upward or downward. I think it's an upside down horseshoe.
You know what? Actually, yes, that was a thing. People did have that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm in an old town area, a lot of old farmers, old farmhouses, and these people, it's a religious town too. So these people, you know, they're superstitious, and I get to see all these little quirky things people are doing. It's fun.
That's funny. I forgot. Yeah, that was a thing, and I guess it still is, obviously, but I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, still going.
That's
cool. I've done at least a handful of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to touch on briefly was you recently got baptized.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I thought that was very cool too.
Well, apparently it was a much bigger deal to everybody else than it was to me, because I didn't tell any family members or anybody about it. Because for me, it was just this is me turning my life over to God, and this is between me and Him, and I literally told not a soul. I didn't think it mattered to anybody, but when I posted the picture, it was like somebody had gotten married or something, and it came like this flood of likes and loves and comments that I didn't expect. I got a little backlash from my parents. She's like, "Why didn't you tell us?"
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess my relationship in my my whole faith, it's more of a personal thing to me than what I care about what other people think. Yeah, that's where I am with that. I'm so blessed to know God today.
Yeah.
He's been there this whole time, and He's never forgotten about me. Even when I was a dick and doing all these blaspheming things where there was points where I was challenging God, like physically, just being an idiot. I don't want to get too much into it, but calling out and doing all this dumb juvenile things. He's still there, and I have a great relationship now.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Sidewinder Canada has commented, and which is Keith Bowie, I believe, and he said, "I got you on my office toolbox. Rock on, Danny Walker. Your enthusiasm is infectious, and it's all good."
Right on, brother.
Yeah. And Our awesome little Miss Jennifer Edwards says Danny and his passion for everything he does, as he has encouraged me to push forward and try harder to reach my goals.
And it's just crazy
See?
to look at me in that eye, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just another guy, and I just moved out of Dad's house. You know, I'm finally getting my shit together.
Yeah.
I'm really nobody. I'm just a kid who likes attention, and I'm putting myself out there.
Well, it does make a difference.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back
Yeah.
to life.
Yeah,
I'm living now instead of just existing.
Right. And that's right. You guys did just move. So you moved, was it last week you moved into the house?
Yeah, last 2 weeks ago, I think.
Right. And how is that going? It's all good? You're unpacked?
Yeah, it was such an easy move, really. This my landlord is a woman that I did work for last summer. There was a house remodeling, maybe an hour away from home, and it was a house fire. They were remodeling it, and this lady, she's a Japanese woman, speaks really broken English. She's super smart. She's a clay modeler for Volvo. So, but anyway, she was doing this house, and that was the relationship we had. She was just one of those customers who was super nice. She brought us to work, I think, while we were working, and she was just, just friendly. She was just really friendly. We did our job, and she asked some advice, and she was trying to get us to do some. My cousin Ricky, he's no longer with FOMO anymore. He went to the electricians union. I hope he's doing good. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
But she was asking us to do side work and paint that house because she lives in North Carolina, so she can only come up like once a month to work in this house that she's trying to flip. And I didn't know that she had this house too. This is the house that she lived in before taking that job in North Carolina. So when I reached out to her, when Bash, this dog right here, little backstory, and I told you about the convention.
Yes.
So my girlfriend Elizabeth, she lives in an apartment complex where it's dog friendly. They went out to take him out, and he broke the leash, charging at some smaller dogs, and they just, he's got a strong mouth, and I think he might, he bit the dog or whatever. The dog went in for surgery. He came out. And,
yes, that happened at SP. That's right. I remember you got that call. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, anyways, the dog didn't do so good, and ended up passing after surgery. Didn't recover from the surgery. So.
Yeah.
What? I'm getting yelled at here, I think.
You're getting yelled at?
So, anyways, Bash needed a place to live, and that's kind of what prompted me looking to get in my own place, because I needed to save the dog, really. I love this. I love him. So I remembered that house, and so I called and asked her, hey, is that house up for sale, or would you rent it out? She's like, it's not ready. Still 2 months out to rent that house, but I have a house which already close to where I was living at my dad's. And basically she just wanted me to take over, her mortgage. And so it became basically fully furnished. I found out that the house that she was remodeling, she paid for it on a credit card. So that's a pretty intense payment, plus the mortgage, plus her apartment that she lives in North Carolina.
Wow.
And needed some relief, and it just couldn't have worked out better.
That was meant to be for sure. Holy smokes.
So here we are in this great house on the water. I can afford it. And, it was a pretty easy move, and man, I love that dog because it had that terrible thing not have happened,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be in this amazing house.
See, something beautiful always comes out of something not, right? There's always something good that comes out of those situations.
It's incredible.
That's really something.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I didn't realize you were like that was going to be your house. I thought you were moving into like you were renting a place, and that's congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. Another
That's
little
very
story
cool.
of experience over tragedy. It's crazy.
Exactly. Ben Monsma says the dancing spray foamer videos are the best.
I gotta learn some new moves, I think, because. So, yeah.
Now you gotta like regroup and start thinking about new content that you're gonna put out there for all of us, right?
Yeah, I'm like the whitest dancer you ever seen. So, really bad.
That's what makes it awesome.
Yeah.
The white guy dancing videos, right? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I'm just looking back here to see if there's because I missed a lot of the comments here, so.
Yeah, what's everybody saying? What's up, guys?
There's a few on here.
It's fun.
You'll have to go back and answer them, but I guess we're almost rounding up to an hour here, so is there anything else you want to kind of wrap things up with?
I don't know. Just.
Oh.
What? You go first.
I wanted to ask you about you sent me like a year ago probably, your list on Audible or one of those platforms for what you read. So what are you, I guess that would be the thing, are you currently listening to or reading, are you doing any of that right now? Or, because you had a lot of awesome stuff in that list.
Yeah, so I'll get to what I'm doing in a second. But I sent you a mega file. I think it was called Mega was the platform. It's anybody, if you guys want this, I can send it to you. It's just a bunch of audio book files in a 10X Rule, Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average. Those are some of the most powerful books. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, great book. It's an amazing book.
Yeah.
These are the books that came to me from the MLM world, personal development thing and everything. Those are what I use as tools in these other groups in masterminding online through Zoom, where I would weekly meetings, and we would just pour value into each other from reading, and then just create content based off of these books.
Right.
We would take these books, dissect them, and create content, and just push it out to attract people, just to gain followers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest way to gain followers, is to just pour value into people's lives. Mm-hmm. You don't try to sell. You don't try and sell. You don't try to sell. You pour value. Value into people. That's how you sell. And then once in a while, go in and sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just mention it. You don't even have to sell it. Just mention, this is what I'm doing. By the way, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's because I'm doing all this other awesome stuff in my life, and it's allowing me to do this other thing, and you can too, type of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I gained my following. I think I got almost 50,000 followers on Facebook right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that many. I knew you had a lot, but I didn't know it was that many.
How many people are watching right now?
30. I've got 30, which is that's for this little show, the most unprofessional live on Facebook. That's a lot.
If everybody took a second and hit the share button to their own newsfeed, that number's going to jump by
Yeah.
20 right now if they hit share.
And it'll grow. Like I always do afterwards, I send my little statistics to everybody who comes on so they can see like who is watching from where and how many views and all that stuff. I just like those numbers. I like to see those numbers. I know we're not supposed to get caught up in that, but I like to see it. But I did share that list. I think I asked you a couple times. I had people reach out to me because I think I was posting about what I was reading or something, and they messaged me and said, what else do you have? And I said, oh, let me ask Danny if I can share that, because it's filled with so much good, just excellent material. And
given to me too. So I mean, just share the knowledge. It's such valuable stuff. I have that file, that whole little thing still. So if anybody wants access to that, send me a message and I'll make sure to get it to you today. But now Doug's got me in BNI.
Oh, yes, I wanted to talk about that too. I forgot. Yes. Tell us about BNI. I
just started, and I haven't had they call it a member success program, which is basically your introductory schooling, where they teach you how the group works. So I haven't done that yet, but it's a business networking group where you're never going to see your competition there. One person from one area of business can be in your chapter. For instance, there's a chiropractor and there cannot be another chiropractor.
Right.
There's an acupuncture guy. There can't be another one of those. There's a lawn care person, and same thing. No other people who cut grass can be in that group. And there's investors, there's real estate people. My sphere of influence is crazy now because I have all these people who would never have interacted with me, drug addict, Danny Walker, they would never have interacted with me like they do now, where they're so welcoming and encouraging, and they have a want to help me grow Foam Wall and in my personal life.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's really so crazy.
Yeah.
To know that almost all of the people in my life now are business owners, where before they were just dying. Everyone in my life was dying. It's crazy.
Yeah, it does stand. It is a true testament that who you surround yourself with is who and what you become. And if you're going to surround yourself, and it can be hard because sometimes if you've got, it's your friends, maybe you grew up with them, or it's somebody you've known for a long time and they're just not in the right space. And whether you're in that same space or not, you get painted with that same brush. So whoever you are surrounding yourself with, like you really are just like a sponge, and you're taking in all of that wealth of knowledge from all of those business people. That's priceless.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to do a lot at one time. People think that I take on a lot at once, like Elizabeth tells me to slow down sometimes, but I think she's just a little confused.
Some people they can do a lot of things, and I mean, I know especially if people are, because my husband is ADD and he's got dyslexia, he's got a few of those things, and what's interesting to me is I tell him all the time, those are not disadvantages, those are actually, that's what makes you have the ability to do what you can do. Like, he can do stuff I would never even think of doing, but he can do that. Like, those are actually benefits. And everybody looks at that as like, oh my God, somebody's, this, that, and the other. No, that is a benefit, and that's your secret weapon.
No, I look at it like you're being a farmer. right? You got to plant a bunch of seeds if you want stuff to grow.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to grow, a ton of crops. I don't want to just grow, a piece of corn over here and a carrot. I'm trying, I want it all.
Right.
I want it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some of those things aren't going to grow. A lot of those things aren't going to grow, but I'm going to plant seeds all day long, every day, and just, I'm going to be way further ahead than if I didn't try back then. Even if I'm just doing a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and, just eventually I'm going to have a tree or a bush or, all kinds of stuff growing in my life, and I'll have a lot more experience than the guy who didn't try.
Yeah, exactly. And it's better to have it spread out, like you say, obviously not spread too thin, but like spread it out. And yeah, it's exactly what you said. Whatever's going to grow will grow. And if you didn't plant it there, then how would you know? You've got to try. You got to keep putting it out there. So I think, going back to the BNI, how long have you just started in that recently, right?
Yeah. So we meet once a week, and I think I've been probably less than 10 times, more than 5, somewhere in there. And it takes a while, meeting only for 1 hour or an hour and a half every week. It's really hard to get the feel of how things should work. So basically, right now, I'm just at the point where, you go in and you give us a 30 or 60-second commercial of your business, or you have an ask for the week, and it's like everyone there is supposed to help grow the other person's business. And you're just learning about everyone's business.
Right.
There's people watching now who have been in BNI who have a lot more to speak on it than I do. I'm trying to really understand it at this point. They got a good app, and they got 2 apps. I don't even know how to work them, but we'll do another live at some point where we can talk more about that.
Yeah, I think because that's a question you see it come up all the time in like worldwide or anywhere actually, that they'll ask like, what do you guys do for marketing? Like, what are you doing outside of like the other stuff? And that is one of the things where it's like, join those groups if you have the opportunity, and in your communities. I know where I grew up, it's kind of like the Chamber of Commerce, and there's just different things that sorry, I got sidetracked. Corey Poping was asking a question, which I will ask afterwards. But it was, it's those little things that you're going to grow your business. You're going to meet other business people in your community. So yeah, that's the chance to grow everybody's business and do it as a group. And it's a successful thing. So Corey was asking, how was both of your SPFA experience? Yes, Corey, it was my first experience, and I'll tell you, I wished I was there longer, quite frankly. So next year. How was yours, Danny? Was it your first one too?
My second one. I actually got sick. I think it was because of that dunk tank.
So no, did you really?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I had a better experience my first year. I don't know. I just this year. Last year, I think I was real focused on, Spray Foam Worldwide stuff and meeting the guys, just being real excited. And this year, I wanted to find areas where I could serve. I wanted to be able to help more. And one of my biggest takeaway this year was feedback. Getting feedback. That was super important to me. Or giving feedback. And so I went and I talked to some people in SPFA, leaders of SPFA, and I don't know if I offended people or what, but I just, I was giving back feedback, noticing how the event was ran, and just finding areas for improvement and just giving feedback. And I don't think they were ready to hear it. And I
Yep.
don't think they wanted to hear it from me either. So it's kind of off-putting in that sense. And that was my experience, really.
Yeah.
So,
I came back with a lot of takeaways on it too, and you and I touched on it while we were there a little bit, and that is, yeah, I think with any kind of, it doesn't matter what event it is, I think there's always room for improvement, and I think what they do is incredible, and that they can get people to come and do those things. That's not an easy task, and I know it's an expensive endeavor and all of those things. But yeah, there's always things that I think that listening to the people who attend, who are willing to give that feedback for improvement, that's golden. And it shouldn't be taken as criticism. It should be taken as, we want to help improve this. And we want to, this is what you could maybe, like, how about if we think about adding this or that, or, and we're here to help you make that event a massive success. Why wouldn't we be? It's an industry event, and it should be. I know for me, I was there for the first 2 days, so I didn't see the last part of it, but the fact that I got to meet so many awesome people and wives that were there who I've been, connected to on Facebook for 4 years was awesome. And I was so happy to do that. And I will put it out there that I do hope more wives and more spouses are able to go, because the reason they have that association is because of the people who are supporting the ones who are in the industry, and they need to be there, and they need to be seen and heard from too.
Home lives matter.
That's right. They do. And I'm going to just give a shout out to our badass women in spray foam too. We need to see more of them, big time. And we will.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see more, more engagement from the women in the industry.
Yeah.
Because they need a voice. They do. Mm-hmm. I feel like they think, I don't know, I don't want to speak for her, or maybe I'm way off base. And if she's watching, and I say this and it's wrong, I'm sorry, but I almost feel like my helper Christy, she kind of just lets things happen because the guys are in control. When that's not really the case, I don't think. I think, all she's got to do is, show up and be confident and say, this is my thoughts. This is how things should work. And, I don't think that someone's sex should matter.
Right.
A voice is a voice, and they need to just have one.
Yeah. And I can tell you from being in that group, which it drives some guys crazy that they can't be a part of that group, and it's hilarious because we get guys wanting to come in there all the time. But what's amazing to me is that group of women, and it's from all parts of the industry, but the ones who are spraying the foam and the ones who are on the job sites, they have that place and they're sharing and they're talking, and there has not been one situation in that group where there has been a falling out, bad mouthing, nastiness. It's all encouragement. It's nothing but good. It's nothing but positive. They're gonna be heard from more, and I want to see more stuff from them. I want them more recognized, because exactly what you're saying, they tend to stay back a little bit and maybe don't speak up when they should. But there is some talented, incredible women in that group, and I'm proud to be a part of them. They blow me away, and I would love to see them at any kind of event, or hopefully we're going to get more of them to come on here and talk. And Jennifer Edwards is coming on at the end of this month, so I'm excited about that.
I wish she would put out more videos. I wish everybody put out more videos. Everybody needs to do more videos.
I agree. Yeah, big time.
Watch.
I've got somebody on here, Lee, and she said, so much great advice from this charismatic man. See? There you go. Yeah. Yeah, see, Dave George keeps trying to come in, and he's very creative in his attempts to come into the group.
Well, Dave puts out a lot of funny videos, man. I love watching Dave. He's great.
Yep.
I hope I get to meet him one day.
Oh, you know what? And I think that's the thing. It will happen, and if we start, talking about doing a few more things outside of, conventions and stuff, and if we can make those things happen, there will be a lot of attendance for sure. And it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
We'll
so.
make sure it does. All right. Well, it's been over an hour, so do you have anything you want to do to wrap everything up?
Well,
do you have anything to say?
We can wrap it up for now, but I'm inspired to do more of these with you.
Yeah.
It's pretty effortless and not as scary as I anticipated it to be.
Right.
So.
That's what everybody says, and I'm like, you're all good. I get those messages like, I'm nervous, or it's like, I got you, you're all good, don't worry, it's just you and I chatting. So, but we're going to see more of you for sure. You and we're going to do some things together. We've got our little secret man behind the scenes there that you and I can see right now, but we'll be doing some things, and there's going to be more good stuff to come.
What's he doing with that beard? You guys can't even see this.
No, they can't see him. That's Charlie from Charlie's Angels behind the scenes. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Like I said, we'll be doing more. And thanks everybody for coming on. We'll go back and go through the comments. There's a ton. So we'll go back through, and you can post your links to all your pages so they can follow you and catch you wherever you are.
I just want to tell everybody, who has given me support, thank you so much for, just giving me any time of your day. I really don't feel like I deserve it, and I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, you are. That's a good way to wrap it up. Thank you guys all for watching, and you guys have a great day. Do something that lights your soul up today in amidst all of this craziness. Let's focus on the good and the positive, and we will see you all next week. Bye.